Evolution doesn't build bears for the forest. It builds them to audit your mortality. Every species is a 600-kilo resource extraction unit designed to solve one problem: how to turn the environment into pure, unadulterated kinetic energy. Sloth Bear. This is the industrial vacuum seal of the Indian subcontinent. Forget the shaggy, cartoonish exterior. The sloth bear is a piece of biological plumbing. It deleted its upper incisors from the genetic code to create a dedicated suction port. It closes its nostrils, purses its lips, and generates enough negative pressure to pull 10,000 termites out of the earth in a single mechanical roar that echoes for 300 meters. It evolved alongside tigers. The sloth bear operates in a state of permanent tactical paranoia. It doesn't possess a flight instinct. If you surprise it in the brush, it triggers a total, unmitigated system overload of violence. It is a nervous wreck with 4-inch curved blades that liquidates the threat before its brain even registers what you are. The sloth bear is a chaos agent of noise, but the next operative is a silent break-in specialist. Sun bear. The sun bear is a 60-kilogram demolition unit optimized for the vertical markets of Southeast Asia. Its primary tool is a 25-centimeter tongue, a biological probe used to raid high-value targets like beehives hidden deep in tropical hardwoods. Its claws are not nails. They are industrial crowbars designed to shred timber with mechanical precision. The real engineering genius, however, is the swivel armor. Its skin is so loose that if a predator grabs it by the scruff, the sun bear can rotate 180 degrees inside its own hide to counterattack. It is a tactical vest that bites back. It proves that in the jungle, mass is secondary to the speed of your retaliation. But high-intensity combat requires high-intensity calories, something the next candidate has completely failed to secure. Giant Panda. The giant panda is the living definition of evolutionary insolvency. It possesses the digestive tract of a wolf and the bone-crushing jaw of a predator, but it has spent 2 million years filing for bankruptcy. It eats bamboo, a resource with the nutritional density of wet cardboard. Because it cannot process cellulose efficiently, it is forced into a permanent resource debt, eating for 14 hours a day just to maintain a pulse. It is a carnivore that has given up on the hunt. It survives not through power, but through a niche so worthless that no other predator bothers to audit it. A biological dead end that only persists because it stopped competing in the economy of violence. The panda survives by being invisible to the market, but the next bear has learned to hack yours. American black bear. The American black bear is the tactical squatter of the suburbs. While other species flee from human expansion, it has learned to exploit the infrastructure. This is a cognitive high performer that knows your grocery schedule better than you do. It doesn't just eat waste, it manages a portfolio of caloric high-yield targets, opening car doors with the calculated precision of a valet. Its anatomy is a masterclass in versatility, claws optimized for high-speed vertical ascent, and a metabolism that can pivot from berries to deep dish pizza without a flicker of hesitation. It is the ghost in the backyard, a 200-kilogram operative that has realized that human development is just one giant, unsecured buffet. The black bear owns the suburbs, but the next specialist owns a vertical empire where the air is too thin for competition. Spectacled bear. Deep in the cloud forests of the Andes lives the most eccentric landlord in South America. The spectacled bear is a master of high-rise architecture, weaving massive branches into biological penthouses 30 meters up in the canopy. While the rest of the world fights on the ground, he lives in a vertiginous isolation where no other predator can breathe. He is 95% vegetarian, specializing in bromeliads and cacti, but don't mistake this for weakness. It is a strategic retreat into a landscape of fog and shadows. Every facial marking is a unique biometric ID, a natural passport for a life spent entirely off the grid. The spectacled bear's isolation is the result of harsh selection. Because everything you see today is just the tame version of what nature originally intended as a quote-unquote predator. Arctodus Simus, short-faced bear. This was the nuclear option of the Pleistocene. Standing nearly 4 meters tall on its hind legs, the short-faced bear was an apex interceptor that viewed early humans as a minor caloric supplement. Its body was built for ballistics, not digging. Long, slender limbs made it the fastest bear to ever walk the earth, a 1,000-kilogram sprinter hitting 65 kilometers per hour. It didn't hunt for berries. It managed the megafauna. Its snout was optimized for a bite force that shattered mammoth bones like glass. It went extinct 11,000 years ago because it was too efficient. It over-leveraged its own prey infrastructure until there was nothing left to liquidate. The giant of the Ice Age left a power vacuum, and a distant cousin from the north was ready to claim the throne with pure muscle mass. Grizzly bear. The grizzly is not a hunter. It is a ballistic heavyweight. Its signature feature, the massive shoulder hump, is a muscle anchor. It serves as the power source for industrial-scale excavation and provides the kinetic energy for strikes that can pulverize an elk's spine on contact. A grizzly is a 400-kilogram tank that runs uphill faster than an Olympic sprinter. It is the ultimate generalist, fishing with the precision of a surgeon and excavating ground squirrels with the violence of a backhoe. When it charges, it's usually psychological warfare, a bluff designed to collapse your nervous system. But if the bluff ends, there is no sequel. Despite its dominance, the grizzly remains a prisoner of the mainland. But on a small archipelago off Alaska, evolution pushed the limit. Kodiak bear. The Kodiak bear is the result of a 12,000-year monopoly. Isolation on the Kodiak archipelago created a subspecies that makes the grizzly look like a slender relative. Without natural enemies and with an infinite supply of salmon, these animals have broken the physical limits of the ursine frame. A mature male weighs 700 kilograms, the stability of a concrete foundation. There is no need for agility here. The Kodiak wins through sheer mass and the luxury of an environment that has never told it no. It is proof that resource abundance inevitably leads to gargantuan structures. While the Kodiak indulges in excess, another bear in the forests of Asia must fight for every inch of respect. Asiatic black bear, moon bear. The moon bear is the bipedal sentry of the East. It stands on 2 legs more often than any other bear to scan for threats in a world that has hunted it to the brink of paranoia. Due to the brutal history of biofarming, this species has developed an aggressiveness that makes even the grizzly cautious. It is an elite climber, living in a state of vertical guerrilla warfare against anything that violates its territory. It doesn't attack to eat. It attacks to liquidate the threat before it becomes real. In the mountains of Asia, hypervigilance is the only law that matters. In the East, survival is a battle of nerves. But at the edge of the world, a predator waits who knows no fear, because it has mastered the physics of the freeze. Polar bear. The polar bear is a marine mammal in stealth mode. Its fur isn't white. It's a collection of transparent, hollow tubes that funnel sunlight directly to its pitch-black skin. It can smell a seal through 3 meters of ice from 30 kilometers away, a biological radar system. But its most terrifying feature is walking hibernation. Unlike other bears, the polar bear can lower its metabolism while remaining fully active, becoming a ghost that haunts the ice without burning through its reserves. It can swim across 400 miles of open ocean without a break, moving with the cold precision of an iceberg. In its world, humans aren't threats. They are just another source of blubber. The polar bear is the undisputed king of the Arctic. But a warming planet is forcing a hostile merger that no one expected. Growler and Pisley, the hybrid merger. This is the biological startup of the century. As the ice melts, the polar bear is driven south and the grizzly moves north, leading to a forced genetic merger. If the father is a grizzly and the mother a polar bear, you get a growler. If the father is a polar bear and the mother a grizzly, it's a pizzly. These aren't just accidents, they are a spreading population of high-performance hybrids. They possess the raw, crushing power of the Arctic predator and the hair-trigger aggression of the mainland grizzly. They can hunt in open water and climb on land, an all-weather operative showing that nature responds to crisis with even more dangerous innovations. It is the final audit of a changing world.